Live today. Thought I might sign on and say hi to whoever shows up or watches this again in the future. While I am just sorting out some of my boxes. Got some big news this year. I guess this will be the soft launch. So what is it? It's 2025, start of February, and for me, this is usually the time of year where I go back to my full-time job. I am a teacher. I have been for my whole career, almost 40 now, and I taught outdoor ed. And so usually in New Zealand, the start of the school year is happening right now. So I will be back at school doing orientation week, setting up my students, setting up my classes, high school sort of level, 13, 14 to 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds. But this year, I have taken leave from that job. So I'm going to be doing two things this year. Actually, a pretty big year for my whole family, to be honest. So I'm taking leave from my work as a teacher, and I am going to be carving, working on my Pounamu and other stones, a lot more. I'm going to be working on my social media. Hopefully see a lot more stuff on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram coming through. And I'm also going back to study. I'm going to be studying Te Reo Māori and reclaiming that language of my tupuna, of my ancestors, which is pretty momentous for my whānau and my family. My great-grandfather, I never met him before he passed away before I was born. He decided that being Māori wasn't a good thing, and it was something that he didn't want his family to be. I think some shit went down with the house and ownership of it and inheritance, and he got a bit hoha with the other family members and said, "Oh, screw you all," and it was a time of a pretty strong oppression by the government of Māori culture, and he just decided, nah. So my grandma, his daughter, she never learned about that part of her whakapapa, her culture. The only thing that connects her to Te Ao Māori for me is her name. We called her Kui. Never knew it was a Māori word though, until I was an adult. And so yeah, I think, and from then, one of my uncles, her boy, her son, he did a lot of work researching and reconnecting us with who we are, where we're from, who our ancestors are, our connection with Te Atiawa, with Waikawa Marae and the people going back through there. And we're all, well, some of us in my whānau are starting to make that reconnection, but no one in my whānau has the reo, has the language. So that's another pretty big thing for me this year, is taking some more pretty big steps doing that. So I'm doing a full immersion course, so first level of that. So yeah, big thing this year. Yay, finally a Kiwi stream. Awesome. What's going there? At Black, yeah. Cheers, at Black. You Kiwi at Black as well, or you just like the accent? The other big thing, I guess, that goes along with it is what my wife is doing. So we've got two kids, 9 and 11-year-old, and she is going back to work for the first time since we've had them. So we've been blessed to be able to organise our lives around having one income. So yeah, massive, eh? Big changes, uncertainty, not sure what's going on. Ros going back to work, me kind of staying at home and being more of a stay-at-home dad. Yeah, man, you're a Kiwi. I left the card out 2 or 3 boxes ago. Oh shit, I better find that. YouTube's been sending me all over the world. Let's see if we find that card. Yeah, live stream. I don't usually watch live streams myself. Oh, there it is. Shut, bro. Thank you. Now, I imagine America just has a massive impact, massive influence because of how many people are on YouTube. There must be heaps of American streams, eh? What's going on here? YouTubers been. Love your mahi, bro. Cheers, man. How are you? Kia ora, Steve. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I am feeling really, really good. Yeah, it's funny. As a teacher, this time of year is usually the time when I get back to feeling like myself after the summer holiday break. So, in New Zealand, that's you get about 6 weeks, 4-hour summer holiday, and it's the end and then the start of the school year. And after that 6-week break, you know, I've got the energy, I've got the enthusiasm, I've got the motivation, the passion to do things that I love to do. But this year I'm not going back to work as a teacher, so I'm hoping that's going to stick, you know. I'm going to last a bit longer. Yeah. These are scary channels from Korea, and yeah, I bet that stuff would be pretty full on. Oh, mate. Love the serpentine touchstone you polished. Yeah, man, they just went in the post yesterday, actually. I was looking around my workshop, and I was like, I've got too many stones. What am I going to do with them? So I'm going to be doing more of those as well. I've got a couple lined up that I want to do. They're pretty relatively inexpensive way, usually. It can be. Can you guys hear my kids screaming? Hope not. Some of them turn their screens off, and I don't think they're very happy with each other or turning them off. But be a relatively inexpensive way, I think, to own a piece of Pounamu. Of course, New Zealand is whacked. It feels safer with our whacked out shit. Yeah, man, there's some crazy shit going on in the world, eh? But at least, well, relatively at least, depending on the circles you live in, but New Zealand is a pretty safe country. It is a blessing of being at the bottom of the world, well away from lots of places. Yeah, that serpentine Pounamu corridor is an interesting one too. I've had a few people lately getting quite hoha, quite angry and upset about me calling serpentine Pounamu and saying nope, serpentine is not Pounamu, only the jade is Pounamu, and that's what we the hapu members call it. And I've met a few hapu members, and there's definitely some that acknowledge serpentine as a place in the family of Pounamu. Yeah, not all. Find that I have left these ones out. I've run out of business cards now. I've got a few more on order, but I've only got 2 more boxes here to make up. I might fold a few more. But yeah, even in the Ngāi Tahu, the government legislation, you know, the colonial system, for better or worse. Some people love it, some people don't. Some people acknowledge it is probably a better word. In the government system and the legislation for the Pounamu Vesting Act, it describes serpentine included in the definition of Pounamu. So, you know, that's a pretty big thing too. Right. What's going on here? find the reef I emailed you about a while ago. Is that the one that we're talking about? Forgive me, Steve, names come and go so much on these things. Is that the one on the beach where you're talking about a big boulder reef? Because if so, yes, I did get down there. I haven't been, well, I don't go up in the bush and the rivers because I don't whakapapa Ngāi Tahu. And haven't been on the Arohura a couple of times with hapu members from there. Yeah, no further than that into any of the reefs up further. Oh, good luck with your chapter in life. Can't wait to see what it brings. Oh, kia ora, Angela. Be interested if those actually know the kōrero about Pounamu and its whakapapa. Te moko o tapuhi. Yeah, mate. I think the more I talk to people about it, it's not that people don't know, it's just that people are different. And, you know, hapu and iwi, they're just a big family. And in family, there's always differing views, you know. And I think even what I'm seeing with, you know, and this isn't 100% or anything, but you know, even through Treaty of Waitangi claims and settlements, you know, you can't have everyone's voice heard. So there's still people who are not always happy with the way things have turned out. You know, which is, you know, with the Pounamu Vesting Act and serpentine being included in that. Some people probably don't even know. And then the kōrero that's been passed down to them from their you know, grandparents or whatever is saying that serpentine isn't it. And then there's kōrero that say, well, serpentine was never a word until the colonisation. Before it was all just Pounamu. So we don't really know before because there wasn't a differentiation. There isn't a word in Māori that I've ever heard of. It'd be interesting to know for serpentine versus fried jade. It'll be an interesting thing. So I imagine it just would have been softer and harder Pounamu. And with the tools they had back in the day to carve things, I think as much as making a really hard jade mere or toki or, you know, tool or weapon or whatever would have been awesome and amazing, I think some of them would have really appreciated some of the softer stones because they're so much easier to work, especially if they're making jewellery and stuff. Whakapapa trumps opinion any day. Yeah, it is, but it's interesting when you meet people with the same whakapapa who have different opinions. That's what I'm struggling with. Because I mean, my journey, I want to do things as right as I can, you know? Tika ngā. I mean, I'm not Ngāi Tahu, I don't have any claim to Pounamu, to the West Coast, to any of that sort of stuff, but I love it. You know? I love working with it, I love the beauty of it, I love the shapes of it. You know, it fills my soul. And I want to honour that, and I want to do it right. And it's hard when there's conflicting kōrero. But at the end of the day, it's just serp. It's just two different minerals. That's not a big one at the end of the day. Got to run, take you. Yeah, kia ora, Steve. It's just part of what's on my mind lately. Serp and jade and what those things actually mean. Going over to the West Coast though and connecting with hapu, connecting with carvers, connecting with the whenua, our tangata and our whenua over there. It's one of my favourite parts of this process. When I started carving, part of the fascination, and it still hooks me, is you know, that the change from a raw piece of Pounamu through to the finished taonga and the journey it goes on. Like, because before I started carving, I had no idea really, what it looked like or what the process was like, and my first steps were working it out, what those steps, to take it from a raw piece of rough jade or rough Pounamu to a finished piece. And still now, I think it's one of the reasons why I love cutting open rock so much, is that I just love seeing the transformation from a natural rough piece into something else. Sometimes there are rocks, stones that, especially Pounamu, that shouldn't be cut, and stones that I shouldn't have cut. They would have held more value and were more beautiful as their whole piece, maybe with a bit of polish outside on them. But like I said before, that's my thing. I like seeing what's inside, and will often take a risk to do that. You have one stone, which is beautiful, dark black flower jade, real dark green, beautiful bright flowers through it. And I was really stoked when I got it and decided to cut it open. But I guess one of the reasons it had the beautiful flower colouring through it was because it had a lot of fractures going through it, and so it was hardly a piece big enough to make a talkie. Not even a piece big enough to make a talkie out of by the time it all fell apart after trying to slice it up. So I wish I had left that one. Well, that's definitely one that would have been better as a whole piece. But I've worked out that it looks really nice on silver. So I'm making some smaller pieces out of that and putting it on silver chains and silver necklaces. You may have seen them. I've got one up in my shop still. The other ones they went pretty quickly a couple of months ago. What's going on here? Oh, yeah, gets the old head scratching going, for sure, bro. But I don't know, it's people, people and korero, and what's important and what the next part of my journey really is, I think, from the Māori worldview is what your iwi and your hapu say, and your people. So part of my journey is Waikawa Marae. I'm wearing my hoodie, represent. Oh, it's backwards, but still. Just reconnected with, just connected. It's not even, I was reconnecting for my whānau in January. Went to Waikawa Marae for a whakaruru ho. We were there for 2 nights, a weekend, with a whole bunch of other whānau. And it was just an amazing experience to be there and to reconnect and be so welcomed in such a loving, warm place. But what I was saying is, getting the korero from my iwi is one of my steps in connecting with those that work with stone. Like Te Atiawa is a big part of what I need to do now and part of my focus, and hopefully I'll achieve that this year, but so that I feel like I was talking before about doing things right in tika, and that connecting with those people and finding out the korero from them, from my iwi, from my people, tangata tāku, is I think really important. Things like names of stones, classifying Pounamu, korero around the origins of Pounamu and other stones like Pakohe, it's a big one up in top of the South Island where my marae is, around the shapes and meanings, karakia, all that sort of stuff, the tikanga of carving for Te Atiawa. I'm really, really keen and eager to learn and develop that sort of stuff. It's an interesting journey. I know there's a lot. No, I'm not the only one in this situation. A lot of Māori who have Pākehā whakapapa as well, ancestry. Like I've got very strong lineage through to Ireland, Scotland, England. My name Campbell is from Clan Campbell. My mum was an only child, well, not only child, but her brother didn't survived adulthood actually, unfortunately, a big car crash. So she was a Campbell, last name, but because I took my dad's name, Potter, Campbell didn't carry on, so it became my first name, and now it's my son's middle name, trying to keep that connection to Clan Campbell alive. So yeah, so I know a lot of us have Pākehā heritage, European heritage, as well as Māori. It's important to acknowledge that as well. I guess the big thing is that it's such an opportunity, well, for those that are interested in it, like-minded like myself, to connect with Te Ao Māori. If you have Māori whakapapa, build new connections, new strings with a community, extended whānau, which is pretty unique in the world this day and age, in the Western world, definitely in terms of the nuclear family of just parents and kids and grandparents, cousins, but it keeps coming back down just to the main family. So the way Māori, a lot of indigenous cultures see family as quite different, and I think it's quite an honour and a privilege to be able to connect with that and be a part of that. So I'm looking forward to jumping in and getting in on the deep end of what it means to be involved with marae and be a part of that whānau. There'll be goods and bads, I'm sure. Family's got good stuff and bad stuff. Oh, getting hot in here, excuse me. Right, well, this taonga I'm wearing today, it's part of that kōrero, part of that journey which I was just talking about with Te Atiawa and Waikawa Marae, which is up in Te Tauihu o Te Wako Maui, top of the South Island, near Picton. This one here is what's my wedding rings on top. This is a kohatu set in a kupenga, little net. And one of the things we did at the whakaruruho a few months ago, or not, last month, was visit the awa, Waikawa awa, little stream that runs off a maunga called Piripiri, behind the marae. And this was the kohatu that called out to me when I was up there. This little flat one which sits nice against the chest. Haven't done anything to it, haven't changed it, but I wanted to have a connection back to the land, to the whenua, to my pepeha. And so I brought it home and made a little net for it. Now when I want to have that connection with Waikawa, with my Atiawa heritage, something that I put on and, find strength through. We went for a bit of a hikoi up the awa. It's this beautiful little stream, it's tiny. It's probably when it's running in most places, it's well below knee deep. It's a stream more than a river really, but me and two other guys, we walked with a big group. There was a group of about 20 of us who went kind of down to the river. It's covered in beautiful native bush, and some people own some of the land up at the base of the maunga, and they have been doing a lot of conservation work, replanting and building tracks and doing amazing work looking after the place. And they've got a really good relationship with the marae. Beautiful people. I've never met them, but just what they're doing is beautiful. And so we went there, and there's this big deck in the middle of the bush. There's big mamaku, tree ferns, and a whole bunch of podocarps, horimu, totara, all these sort of things growing. Very lush place, which was beautiful. And then the stream was kind of burbling down through this. We got there, and our instructions were go and take some time, go for a walk, follow around the tracks. You can't go too far, or you'll know if you do. Don't go up to the top of the maunga. And me and two other guys, we went for a hikoi up Awa. Well, actually, it didn't start like that. One of the other guys said, I want to go as far as we can, up the tracks. So I was like, alright, let's do that. So we started doing that, and the track started heading back up the hill, up the side of the valley. I was like, I want to go check out the river. It was just down below, so I went down there, and then in the river, it kind of gorged up then, like in these big chasms, big rock walls and stuff. So I thought, I'll just have a quick look around the corner. And just popped up around the corner a little bit, and then just carried on, like these beautiful little curious waterfalls, slippery rocks and stuff. And like, let's go a little bit further. And then we got to, there was a pool where we couldn't carry on just walking up. And at that pool, I decided, yep. I mean, it's January, it was pretty warm, but the water was cold. But yeah, I need to swim. Swim in the awa of my tupuna, where my ancestors lived. A special place for the marae. So, stripped down, jumped in the water. The other guys decided to as well. But then we go, well, now that we're in the water, we can get past this. So we went even further. So we went up a couple of waterfalls. We managed to get up there quite safely. That wasn't too bad. But we did get to a part where there was probably about 10 metre big slippery rock slide with water pouring off the end as well. So they called it there. But where the story got to is I got to that part and I was like, alright, I need a kohatu from here. And it's not this one. So this one I found earlier and carried it all that way and back. But went to the base of this waterfall. It wasn't, it was a stream, okay, so it wasn't too bad. It wasn't like pounding water on me or anything, but I reached down to the base of the waterfall, and that was the rock there. I got a rock about this big. I was like, yep, that's going to be my maori stone. The one that I'm going to leave at home. Got it sitting on my dining room table in the middle. That's going to soak up the maori of this house and be our connection back to our whenua. And my plan with that stone is it kind of sits up. It's quite kind of narrow. It sits up like this, and I guess you kind of call half moon shape. Is I'm going to carve into the top of it the skyline of the maunga of Te Piripiri maunga. To enhance and make more tangible that connection with that place. So I'm really looking forward to finding the right time to do that. I took some photos from different places when I was up there of that skyline. It's not a super dramatic one. It doesn't have to be dramatic to be important in a way. So yeah. Well, I think I'm almost done here. Good chance for any kōrero or questions or anything that you might want to chip in on. What's that, 28, almost half an hour. That's good. Got a bit of mahi done. I have to do this a bit more often, jump on and do a live. If you do like this, like Pounamu, if you do like the vibe here, do the old subscribe thing. I've got a YouTube membership channel as well, which talks a lot about carving and what I'm doing and what other people are doing, and connecting and sharing that. I jump on TikTok, share a lot of my cutting stone videos there. Got a good Facebook group where I share a lot of my finished carvings and all the kōrero and the stories that I put with that. The same stuff goes on Instagram. Haven't got a massive following on there at the moment, and my website is where all of my stuff is, campbellcarving.co.nz, and all the other ones are Campbell Carving, might be Campbell Carvings on Instagram or something. Yeah, so I appreciate more followers if you like this kōrero, if you like this sort of stuff. And, working on growing that at the moment so I can have a successful year this year, and hopefully develop an income where I can support my family doing this. Because right now I'm pretty good with my career in teaching. I think I've done a lot there. I'm ready for something else, and I'd like it to be this, working with Pounamu, but you know, still got to earn a living, eh? So yes, your support is much appreciated. Kia ora koutou. Cool. Nothing new on there. Anyway, that's me. Kia ora koutou. Ka kite. See you guys next time. Might try live on TikTok next time, I reckon. So make sure you sign up there if you want to see me again on the next one. But yeah. Alright, now I haven't done this for a while. How do I turn it off? That one. Cool. Yeah.